everybody? My name is Braden Fletcher, and welcome to the second round of Liz Biz here at Monza. Long track with a lot of long straightaways. Here's your starting order. The 48 AMS sessions, last week's winner, the 28 of Man Bar, the 14, the 27, the 7, and the 2, they round out your best of the rest. And here we go, we're about to take the green flag here in Monza. Green flag's out. That 22 didn't get a really good start. That 14 looking to the right side of him. 14 inherits the 4th place. That 48 gets a really good start away from the 28 though. 48 Cobalt, looking to make a move on the 28 as the 48 Lowe's still in the lead. 48 Lowe's, he's been really fast at this track in any series of cars. 48 Cobalt underneath the 28. They go side by side through that little through the little right-hander there. Into this big chicane, heavy braking zone. Great place to make some positions. 28. Oh, 28 gets transported back. Oh, bad break for that 28. And I believe so did the 48 Cobalt. Both of them judged to cut the corners by the stewards. Oh man, a bad break for last week's winner. A very bad break for last week's winner as we see the 27 get in front of the 2, and the 48 really just pulled away from the 14 and 22 off the start. 2 and 27 trying to get some sort of run down this stretch, trying to draft off the 7 car, get a little bit of that suck. More contact from that 2 and the 2 to the 27. A little bit more contact going into this corner. This little S is right here onto a long straightaway, and then a right-hander, pretty much a hairpin right-hander, just like at Martinsville, and then you go into a very long front straightaway. If you don't nail this final corner, you'll definitely have some problems getting down that front straight. 14 gets past 22, but pitches it a little loose. 22 retakes second place as we see that 48 Lowe's, really get out to a just terrific lead already. We see some side-by-side action here with the 27 and the 2, 2 had a really good run last week at Northern Isle, but couldn't quite close the deal, didn't have the fuel to stretch it, and he finished 3rd place. He's trying to improve 2 spots today, finish in that winner circle, but the way AMS Sessions is running in this first lap, I don't know if that's an easy task or not. 2 drifts up just a little bit there, tries to block the line, coming into this chicane. Once again, a very heavy braking zone, great place to set up a pass. Oh, 27 gets in the sand, overcooks it. Oh, into the 2, into the 7, and the 28. Oh man, that 7 car once again, the 9 car is running the 7, is announced under the 7 today. That 28, after a disastrous first quarter of the first lap, he trying to get back to that 2 car, trying to get back to the front half of the field. He gives him just a little bit of a push there. And at this stage of the race, I'd maybe try to save just a little bit of fuel, see if you can make it to halfway. We saw last week at Northern Isle, fuel strategy did not work out for a lot of these guys. The only guy it did help out, that 2080, ran out coming to the white flag. 28 giving the 2 a big push down that back straightaway. New fastest lap, AMS Sessions right there, 1:47.475. What a quick lap. There we see our second place, but that first place car is driven away from the pack already. In only 4 minutes, you have 26 minutes to go. You don't really want to spend too much of your stuff, but you also want to get a pretty healthy lead. See the 48 and the 7 bump drafting. Those are 2 teammates. 48 maybe trying to gain some of that ground that he lost on the first lap as well. Transported back after being judged to cut the chicane. You can't really hold it entirely flat out through this little right-hander. You have to just flip it out of the gas ever so much. Oh, 27 makes a lot of contact with the back of the 9. 27, oh, he's into the barriers. What a big hit. hits the 7 car, or hits the 9 car, I should say, the 7, and also messes up his line, and that 48 Cobalt, he's way out in that windshield now. Oh, and now he goes into the sand. Oh, you cannot afford to keep making these mistakes. Oh, and now he's around and crashes. A bad first 5 minutes for that 27 camp. There we see that 9 car rebranded the 7. Just trying to make some headway, trying to gain any time on that 48, the 28, or the 2. A new fastest lap again. No surprise, it's that 48 AMS Sessions, a 1:46.588. An absolutely dominant time, and we see that 14 actually back to 5th place. This is a track where you expel a lot of fuel on these long straightaways. If you can get behind somebody, change your fuel mix, do anything, maybe even go half throttle to try and just stay up, but conserve a little bit of fuel, that could help you in the long run. Oh, 14 looking to the right side of the 2, but the 2 defends that, gets a really good run off of that corner. 14 dive bombs him in there. 14 gets the spot. Oh, gets a little bit loose on corner exit, but he will hold on to the spot. No, he won't. Him and the 2 make contact. Oh, man, that 14 got lucky that he held on to it on corner exit right there. On board with that 2 car as he gives the 14 just a little bit of shot into that right-hander. And now another long straightaway. That's the name of the game here at Monza. You have 3 very long straightaways. Don't want to mess up at the start of either of them, or else you'll lose a lot of time going down. .14 just draws a little bit further away from that 2, but he also gets in the sand. Look at that. That 2's going to have a massive run on him here. Will he be able to clear him? Or maybe even just get alongside of him? Or will he push him? Will that help their fuel situation? Yes, he does. He gives that 14 2 big pushes going into this corner. I don't know if I like that. 14 might overcook that corner. He didn't, though. Really nice bit of driving by the 14. That 14 looking for a good run as he was involved in a crash probably about the first 5 laps or so at Northern Isle. Him, that 9, and that 48 Cobalt car all got into it fairly early on in the race. Didn't really get a fair shake as we see that 2 car absolutely just giving it to the back bumper of the 14. We're about 8 minutes in. Nobody has challenged AMS Sessions for this lead. That's why we're not showing him. He's just absolutely dominant right now. Oh, the 14 gets into the sand. Exactly what that 2 wanted to see, not what the 14 wanted to see. 2 moves up to 4th place. And there's our leader, the 48 AMS Sessions. You don't really see anybody behind him because there is nobody behind him. He's just setting an absolutely blistering race pace thus far. There's the 22, pretty much a full straightaway behind him, and the straightaways here, they are long. And there's the 28, just a little bit behind the 22. Maybe you could catch him, and there's the 2 car, just a bit behind the 28. 14, the 48 Cobalt, the 7, and the 27. That rounds out your field. 27 had an abysmal first 5 minutes to this race. Spins, gets into the sand. After he gets back onto the track, he spins again into the wall, and a new fastest lap again by that 48 Lowe's AMS Sessions. 1:46.294. This guy's absolutely dominant here today. He's got to be looking forward to the road courses later on this season. If he has this pace here, I imagine he'll have it there too. And you notice we are running Monza with no chicane on the front stretch. that was by design because these cars, they take so long to get up to high RPM. It would just take way too long to get around this track. They certainly wouldn't be running 146s, that's for sure. Oh, look at the 48 Cobalt goes underneath of the 14 there. Oh, 48 Cobalt in the sand, though. He spins it. After gaining back all that time, looking back for space in the top 5, he bends it, and he's going to have to chase that 14 back down. He's got 20 more minutes to do it. That 7 car really liking what he sees there. Maybe he can catch that 48 Cobalt, give him a run for his money for 6th place. So we see there's the 27. Oh, the 48 pitches it a little loose right there, 48 lows, but I don't really think it matters too much. If he gives up a 10th, he still has a lot left in the bank, that's for sure. Coming on to the front stretch with about 10.5 minutes down, and this is one track. Unlike at Northern Isle last week, I believe this will only be a one-stop race for all of these machines. They don't guzzle nearly as much fuel because you're not on the gas as long here. At Northern Isle, you were full out pretty much 100% of the time unless you really needed to try and cut under somebody, but here, there's a lot of opportunity for saving fuel, a lot of opportunity for maybe extending your braking zone by a couple hundred feet to try and save that little bit of fuel. So we see the 28 in the 2 car right there, and the 14 in the 2's rear view mirror by a fair bit. Oh, we see the 48 Cobalt come in just one lap after he loops it in the right-hander. That is an interesting strategy. I kind of like that. Maybe try and undercut the field, try and gain a couple seconds on pit strategy, and maybe that'll catch you up to the 14 and maybe the 2, try and battle for a top 5 spot. And there's your leader, AMS Sessions, that 48. Absolutely dominant. Nothing else can be said. He's a very good racer at this game, professional races in the Nations Cup, but man, gotta respect and admire that talent behind the wheel of that 48 right now. So far, he's having a max points day. He's led every single lap. He has the fastest lap. He even qualified on pole. And man, just an absolute dream of a day for that 48 as he comes into the pits. Going to get 4 tires and a full tank of fuel here. There you are, swapping out racing softs for racing softs. As Darrell Waltrip would say, those 4 fresh feel goods definitely faster than 4 worn tires. And we see that 22 maybe coming around. Yes, he will. He will pass the 48. He passes the 48 lows, and the 22 will be the leader, the second leader, first new leader for the first time in this race. That 48 just gets released. And that 22 will have a pretty big gap on that 48, but that 22 has to come in fairly soon, I would imagine. Probably the end of this lap or maybe the end of the next. They're just looking to make it to halfway. That's the quality assurance that you need. All right, we can make it the other half. And you see those barrels, they really slow your car down on the track. That 27 brought him out there on, I think, the 2nd or 3rd lap, and you definitely don't want to hit those at speed. Those will slow your car down, and you'll lose a ton of time. .28 really breaks hard into that chicane there, gets the ass end really sideways. We see that 2 right behind him. Doesn't take it as aggressive. Ooh, takes those corners as aggressive though. .48 Cobalt back to 5th place as that 14 and 7, I assume, went into the pits. So we see that 14 right behind that 48. 48 maybe did gain a little bit of time when early pitting by 1 lap or so. Not a bad strategy whatsoever for that 48 Cobalt. Oh, and we saw in that shot that 22 now coming into the pits. He will get his 1 bonus point for leading a lap, but that 48 Lowe's, he's definitely going to take back that lead. As we approach halfway, we're going to just let you listen to the engine noises and steal a term from NASCAR on Fox. We're just going to let you crank it up a little bit. Enjoy these engine noises for the next couple minutes. As we see that 48 coming around, leading another lap, and we saw as he got onto the backstretch, a little loose off of the S's, but man, that 48, he's just in a different time code. Look, that 22 so far behind, and not to take anything away from the 22, definitely driving a terrific race and running some terrific times, but nobody, absolutely nobody can match the race pace of AMS Sessions with a 1:46.290. 28 looking to catch the 22 though, and we see the 2 car behind the 28 fairly far back, but the fight for second, third, and fourth definitely isn't over. Here we see that Rusty Wallace throwback that's being run here by NASCAR Fan 624, and that 48 Cobalt being run by Jared Sidley in the 48. That 48 Cobalt will be switching his number to the 61 car, the 61 in honor of legendary Columbus Blue Jackets player Rick Nash. He will be starting that number next week at Dragon Trail, and make sure to visit us at Dragon Trail. Might be a similar affair to this week if that 48 has anything to say about a 48 Lowe's. He's just been absolutely dominant. Absolutely dominant. As he catches that 27, catches him in a perfect spot. We'll be able to drive by him on the straightaway, not lose a lick of time. Maybe even bump draft him down the front. No, we will not. He'll try and make a pass there. 27 will fall in behind and maybe try and save some fuel there. Try and do anything to salvage what has been by no means a day that they really wanted nor expected coming in. Just look at that speed that the 48 has. Just pulls away from the 27. 48 brakes just a little bit more shallow there, but he gets through there so smooth, so fine. Oh, 27 into the sand again. That right now is when you really just want to pull it into the garage. Just park it for the day, but you know you still have 10 minutes left, and oh, in the sand again for the 27 behind the 48 in that camera shot, and holy cow. Yeah, this is when you just want to, you know, tuck your head underneath the hood and just hide. into the S's, where just a couple laps ago we saw the 48 really kick the ass end out, but no harm, no foul. He's still making that car wicked fast. Last week at Northern Isle, that 28 really just flat out dominated the race. Led a very good portion of laps. Got really lucky on the final lap as that 48 Lowe's took the checkered flag 1 second. 1 second after the clock struck 30. If he was just a second faster at any point in that race, he could have beat the 28 and been victorious at Northern Isle, but fuel strategy really didn't work out there for the 48, and he's trying to get some redemption here at Monza. 28's looking for a little bit of similar luck as what he had at Northern Isle, because, man, he was absolutely flat out dominant there, but he also had very good luck on his side. You can be good and you can be lucky, but it's a rare combination of driver that are both. Funnily enough, that 48 actually running a paint scheme of a driver who was both Jimmy Johnson, and he's showing some Jimmy Johnson-like speed here at Monza. So we see that second place car, Archangel Racing, the number 22 car. Did not make the race at Northern Isle last week. That will hurt his bid for a chance at the points championship, but he's looking to maybe try and gain some points on that 28, and I don't think anybody's going to be gaining points on that 48 Lowe's, that's for sure. We look through the field, there's the 2, here's the 48 Cobalt. 48 Cobalt, remember, spun out in that little right-hander a little bit earlier on with that 14. But something that 48 Cobalt must have done on that pit stop must be working. He's now solidly in the 5th place, even catching that 2 car. We're hearing the 2 car might be saving a little bit, though, to try and make it to the end. I don't really know why you'd need to save, because he made it past halfway. Oh, wow, 7 gets a little bit loose there. But a nice recovery from that number 7, number 9 with Silver Drift. 22-12, Tim Morris Jr. right there in the driver's seat. See the 22 gaining on that 27. Look at that lead. It's almost the full length of the front stretch. It is the full length of the front stretch now for AMS Sessions over Tyler in the 22. What an absolutely dominant, flat-out dominant performance. We haven't seen anything like this in Liz Biz. I mean, it is only the second race, but man, AMS is just driving away with it. Oh, the 22 gives the 27 just a little bit of the bumper to try and say, hey, buddy, I'm on the lead lap. You're not. I'm a lot faster. 27 overcooks that chicane again. That seems to be where he loses a lot of his time. Look at that 22. Oh, 27 pitches it loose. Nice hold on by the 27. That didn't really work out all too bad for that number 22 car. He didn't lose too much time to that 27, I don't believe. We'll see if that 28 car can go by without incident as well, or if he will slow up his chance to maybe get second spot on that podium. He's either going to catch him in these S's, which would be worst case scenario, or on that long straightaway, which would be best case scenario. There you go. Looks like he's going to catch him on the back stretch, and he's just going to blow right by him with that help. Trying desperately to catch that 22. Oh, the 27 really overcooked that corner into the sand trap, and that 28's going to boogie on by. That 2 car definitely dropped back a little bit. Here comes the 14 with a really good run on the 48. This is the closest battle on the track, nose to tail. 48 Cobalt stretches the lead just a little bit on that straightaway right there coming into the S's. Another very hard braking zone, a very long braking zone. You can gain time and you can definitely lose time there. 14 gets a really good run. Gonna try and draft off that 48 and maybe get him in that right-hander with the sand. Coming into the Martinsville style corner. Basically a paperclip, just a big, heavy right-hand turn. Can't really carry too much speed there. If you do, oh, you might do what the 14's doing right now and get off track a little bit, and he's going to lose a lot of time to that 48. He won't be able to set him up for a pass in the chicane. That is a big gap. That's something that you have to work back in a lap and maybe try it next lap, but there aren't too many next laps left with only about 5 minutes left. Just under 5 minutes, I should say. There's our leader, there's second. There's our leader again, 48 lows. Man, both of these guys have very impressive race pace. Pretty much uncontested for the 48 lows AMS sessions and for this 22. Pretty much just held their positions for the bulk of this 30 minutes. They've only swapped positions once during a pit cycle. You see that 2 who got past the 27 there. I don't really think it's going to matter for the 2. He doesn't have enough time to catch that 28, and I don't know if that 48 Cobalt's got enough time to catch him, especially with him getting past that 27 with little to no issue. He gets loose there on exit. That Ford Thunderbird Miller Lite throwback. 14 losing a little bit more time to the 48. I don't think he's going to be able to try and set him up for a move. He's going to have to dig for the net. For the last 4 minutes, I should say, to try and get that 5th spot on the grid. Hear the birds chirping. It sounds like a Sunday drive out there, and it is for AMS. He's led all but 1 lap, and the reason he didn't lead that 1 lap, he was in the pits, and that 22 did not pit. Just absolute domination from that 48. They've got to be very proud, and most of the schedule for Lisbiz in the future, the next 8 races, those are road courses. The 48 absolutely dominant here. Will he be dominant at every road course this season? And that 22 got to be looking for some road courses later as well. He missed the first race. Will he be able to gain back any of those points that he lost missing the first race? Oh, the 22 gets really sideways on corner exit right there. But really held on to it and did a nice job. We see that 28 who must have had an issue, maybe had to pit or something, because that 2 car is right behind him. Will that 2 car be able to mount a charge in the final 2.5 minutes? See that 48 lows trying to get by the 27 there. That 14's dropped pace. Oh, a little bit of connection issue with that 48 right there. Just bobbing and weaving, dip, duck, dodge, dive, and dodge, or something like that. He gets a little bit loose on corner exit right there, trying to draft up to that 27. 27 just hoping for these last 2 minutes to really just tick away. Not a very fun race, not a very good race for that Remington number 27 at all. Oh, he almost got into the side of the 48. He gets really loose right there. Yeah, this is definitely not what that 27 group was looking for, and the 48 gets really loose off the S's and in the grass. That'll open up the door for the 14 to maybe make a move. 14 a little bit too far back. As we see these guys, about the final 90 seconds or so. You gotta dig for everything. You've driven for 28.5 minutes. Don't give it up in the final minute and a half. You see that 48, like I said, you hear the birds chirping. It's just a Sunday drive for him. Just all a formality this last lap will be. He has the fastest lap. I don't see anybody touching that lap, especially with worn tires at the end of a fuel run. And he will take what I presume to be, unless he gets around here in 45 seconds, he will take the white flag. 1 lap to go for that 48. We're approaching that half an hour mark, that 30-minute mark. We're about 30 seconds away from it now. the chicane for the final time through that right-hander, where we saw the 48 Cobalt and the 14 get into it earlier this race. Here on the first lap, we saw the 48 Cobalt and the 28 get into it. Both have to be transported back because they cut the chicane. There's our second place car, the 22. Just an absolutely dominant display of second as he gets in front of that 28 by about a half straightaway. So 28 will finish, the 2 will finish as we've taken the white flag past 30 minutes. Really good runs by both of those guys. 48 Cobalt, hoping for more today. Got a little loose in the right-hander, got into the sand, had a beach day. Not the type of beach day that you would enjoy, though. Here he comes off the final corner. The 48 will place in the 5th spot. 48 Cobalt gives a little bit of flash of his lights there. Oh, a little bit of spinal action. 14 will come around. He'll get that 6th spot. There's a 27 also finished. There's a 7. And I believe our leader has also crossed the line as well. 48 Lowe's. AMS just absolutely dominant here. Here comes the 9 car, which will be rechristened the 7 next week. 9 car will come home and get 7th place. There's your leader. There's the 48. He just took the white flag, or the checkered flag, excuse me. Here comes the 22, coming in second. Missed race number 1, but this is a pretty good way to gain back some points. He'll get second here at Monza, and that is all of our finishers finished. Here's our point standings for the day. 48, 1 win, 2 podiums, 1 fastest lap. 28, 1 win, 2 podiums, 1 fastest lap. The 2 gets a podium, and the 22 with a podium throughout the first 2 races. 48 holds a 2-point lead over that 28, and man, what a day of racing, what a day of driving, what a Sunday drive for that 48. He was absolutely dominant all day here at Monza. Some great days and some bad days. You might want to change your luck at Dragon Trail next week. For everybody here at LesBiz TV, my name is Braden Fletcher saying keep all 4 tires on the ground, everybody.